Hey, everybody. It is Trash Talk. Here we are. Yeah, got the whoop, 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 whoop,
I
doing
don't
the
know what I'm doing.
doing the moves. You're
I have
trying to
no idea what.
you're
I have
trying to
no
wake up. That's
idea.
what you're trying to do.
I have no clue. My body feels like a punching bag right now, and it's probably because I'm old.
Just yeah, just and I move my arms just to make sure that they don't creak
I
or
am.
crack, you know.
I have a level of soreness right now. Oh my god.
It's an effort just to raise your coffee cup.
Hmm. And I'm wearing the same shirt from last week.
Yeah,
So
I can tell.
yeah, I don't think I washed it. But I this is I bought like five of these. They're super comfortable and soft, and they fit well. But they're great for when it's not really cold out, but you go for a run.
Right.
Which, mind you, I didn't do this morning, but I thought about it. So
Wait, and you talk you talk about sometimes wearing the same shirt, multiple times. That kind of is a lead into our discussion today,
yeah.
because over the holidays there were a lot of people that ended up wearing the same thing day after day because they
Oh,
got nailed, especially at the airports. And I mean,
oh my God. I
unfortunately,
hate the airport. I hate the airport.
we live in the Dallas area, and boy, our local airline based here, Southwest, really got nailed over the holidays with cancellations. I think I heard that there was like 14,000 cancellations.
I still don't truly understand what happened. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Number one, I don't believe them at all.
that it was just
So there's,
a computer glitch.
I don't buy it. I don't
Yeah,
buy it. I don't know what it means. I don't know what it means. Let's not forget, this is the second time in that year that we had. I mean, there was one point we had every single flight was canceled. Remember, not Southwest, because they had a navigation across the board. I mean, we're talking Delta, we're talking American, we're talking Southwest. I don't buy that either. I don't buy that that was just some weird thing. I'm not going to go down the conspiracy rabbit hole. Maybe we'll do a
right,
show about
right.
that one day. But Southwest got hit, and Southwest kind of ghetto anyway.
It's yeah, I
They do
mean,
got some good new planes though. Luke and I were on an amazing plane to Vegas. It had neon lights on it. They were playing music. We the chairs were great. We each had our own plugins for our phone. The flight attendant, he was epic. He was hilarious, and he was just flat out like. So that was the best Southwest experience I've ever had. Otherwise, I'm on the plane and I'm like, did y'all put this together with duct tape?
yeah, right. Yeah, and could I have another pack of peanuts? Yeah,
Oh,
that'll be $12, please.
well, they give you these. Now, the good thing is when you travel with a kid, every time I've traveled with Luke, they always throw us extra. Here's three more. Here's two more. Man, I ain't gonna lie. I had like so many of those on the way back from Vegas. I put those things in his lunch. Like, here's your lunch, bro.
Yeah,
But and you can buy drinks now on the plane. Not that I want to. Cocktails and stuff and all that. And we had the in-flight movies, ton of movies to choose from. Um, so that was a good experience. But typically, like you said, like man, they're like being delayed and canceled in an airport. You are literally just stuck.
and they had no plan for taking care of you. I mean, they didn't give you vouchers
No.
for food at any of the concession areas. They just they lost it totally. And like you said, was it a major meltdown, or they always like to cover it by saying we got hacked, or the
Yeah.
computer system this, or something of a mechanical nature. That that's like when your flight is delayed, they always tell you it's a mechanical issue,
Right. Well, I don't want to
because
get on that plane then.
Yeah, because if they said, well, we're just checking out the engine again, and all, if y'all want us to go ahead and take a chance and take off, show of hands. No, everybody's just going to say, do what you got to do. So if you got to sit on the tarmac for 5 hours, but I've been in situations where that has happened, and the air conditioning is off.
Ugh.
And B, they don't even offer you water or a soft
No.
drink or a snack or something during that time. Just sit.
It's
Yeah.
supposed to be an experience. I mean, back in the day, flying was an experience. Yes, you had your first class, and yes, you had the rest of us peons. But even then, you weren't shoved into a seat that was ripped, that looked like they pulled it out of the dumpster, with a ghetto seatbelt, a bag of mixed nuts that might be stale. And then like, can we get you something to drink? They give you a Dixie cup and fill it halfway. And then they end up dumping the rest of it. You can't even get the can or the bottle. Like, it's supposed to be an experience. You're going on a trip, whether that's business or pleasure, whatever. And then the airports, you got a bunch of dicks with the TSA or whatever they're called that aren't even police. They're just glorified security guards. They're glorified mall cops. They can't
Right.
arrest you, but they think they're God because ever since 9/11, we gave them the power. I hate the airport.
You better hope there aren't a few of them that are watching this show.
I don't care if they are.
Because they're taking out their phone. They're getting a little photo. Oh man, if this guy comes through my station, man.
Look, traveling with Luke has given me a lot of hall passes. They let me through the last few trips. Now, last year, like 2 years ago, I had 2 trips. And I got to tell you, step aside, sir. I got with my son, pulled me aside, the wand, the grabbing of my areas, checking me out. Like, I mean, they're wanding his, because I got a wagon that's like a stroller that I bring for him.
Right.
In the wagon, and I'm like, yeah, that's where the nukes are. They're right there. And now he's got 14 kilos of coke right there under his bear. Yeah, I mean, like,
Yeah. You sure you don't want to check the hubcaps on the wagon here?
right? I got a little pocket in my underwear. You want to look there too, see what's happening, buddy? I just, you get violated. I just, and they're rude. Everybody's rude. Everybody's just forcing. And I understand, like, it can be a crappy job. I get it. People suck, but be nice. Maybe people would be nice then. I don't know.
Well, I think a lot of them know it's a crap job and all, and so they're not
Get a new
going
one.
to put out the effort. Although I will tell you that Lauren just got back from a trip recently to Florida, and this was after the debacle at Southwest, and she said she could not even believe how out of the way the staff at Southwest was going to try and undo the damage that was done. They were opening the doors, they were welcoming you. Can I get you anything on the flights? Like she said, when they would come on the intercom on the plane and all, the first thing the lady, flight attendant would say was, "Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen." I mean, not, attention, all passengers, this and that. It was, "Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to just take a moment of your time to ask this," trying to be just squeaky sweet and all about the experience, which I guess they got to do.
They should do that always. It shouldn't take a catastrophe that costs them millions.
That should be the rule, not the exception. You're right.
Because I got to be honest with you. The reason we go to Southwest is it's typically cheap. There's some flexibility there. I got to be honest. If I travel again, I know I will, I may pay extra for another airline, to be honest with you. The thing that gets me with Southwest is that I can have a bag and check it for free. Luke can have a bag and check it for free, and I can bring a carry-on, and he can bring a carry-on.
Right.
So if we're going on a significant length of time, it's worth it. Now, when we went to Vegas, man, I had a carry-on, and we all fit our crap in one, because there's only a couple of days. But the last time we went to Michigan and we were there for like 13 days, I brought a lot of crap, you know?
Right.
That's the only reason. Other airlines, I know they charge you for that, but if I'm going to have a better plane and a better experience, well, I mean,
I mean,
why not?
that's part of the marketing experience, I think, is why nickel and dime everybody to death? Okay, so you got this $99 fare, but it's $12 a bag to check your bags in. So everybody wants to
Right.
carry on that piece. The second piece of carry on is another $12. And then they nickel and dime you and charge you for every little thing. Why not just make that $150 ticket and everything is included, and it's out of sight, out of mind.
Well, and then yeah, and then the thing is, like you said too, like the cost of everything, flights has gone up so dramatically over the past 3 years, 4 years, and the experience has gone to crap. I equivalent that to movie theaters as well. Movie theaters. And I'm not going to go on that topic, but again, 80% of the movie theaters are ones that are still around. The experience has gone to crap, and the cost has gone up. I mean, why are we settling for this?
Well, it goes beyond that too, Brandon. Look, with concerts. I mean, the experience of going to a concert now, they're large venues, usually like sports stadiums, and all. The cost of parking, the cost of the ticket, with all the add-on fees, the entertainment fee and the tax and the this that and they advertise seats from from $25, and you think, oh, that's cool. Well, number one, it's way up in the rafters, but that $25 seat with all the added taxes is now a $50 ticket, and
Sure.
it's another $15 to park your car. We've talked about going to other sporting events where the sandwiches are prices are inflated, the beer is inflated. To me, the fun experience of traveling has kind of gone away. Probably the only thing, and this is also getting a little bit obnoxious, is cruising. Cruising, you used to pay a price, and you get on the cruise ship, and all the food is covered and everything is covered. You can even get the tips included and all. But every time you turn around, there's another little fee that's being added to your stateroom. And so when you get off of the ship and everything, now you get home and you get this bill for $800 because of all of the extra things that you
And
get.
you thought, and again, you're budgeting, you're planning. That's the same things at the airport. If there is an error with an airline and it causes you to be stranded at an airport, that is the airline's responsibility. I budgeted. If Luke and I were stranded in Vegas for the night, I couldn't afford another hotel room.
Right.
Okay. We'd be at the airport with a toddler, either that, or what if I didn't have enough money for food beyond X, what if, I mean, I had this much emergency money, and what if we went beyond that? It's their response. I'm not saying like you got to put me up in a suite and take care of me 5 meals a day, but you got to do something. You got to give us some vouchers for the airline, the airport. Hey, here's a voucher for this free meal. It's something. You know what? And I know sometimes they have put people up in hotels, but
Yeah.
how many times have we seen people sleeping at the airport? I mean,
Well, that's right. They say, well, we've got to just delay, so just make yourself comfortable over there. Well, those chairs are not sleepable. They're not comfortable. So, people laying down, like you said, everywhere. If it's a late evening flight or a very early morning flight that gets canceled, the concession places
closed.
aren't even open yet, or
Well,
they're closed
yeah.
for the night. So
They're
you couldn't
closed,
even.
they're not open, you can't do anything. And what about, here's the other thing, what about all the other passengers that are coming there for other flights that aren't delayed, that aren't canceled? You're fighting all that with them. I got to tell you, it's something I think about all the time when I fly. It makes me not want to fly.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've expressed it on this show and my other shows. I am not a fan of flying anywhere. I mean, fortunately, I'm retired now, so I can add a couple of days to my travel plans. Get in a car and travel. Stop as often as I want.
Sure.
Take some munchies along the road and something to drink and all, and just
I'd rather do that. I'd be honest with you.
enjoy the road experience.
I'd rather do
Oh,
it.
Route 66.
My car though barely makes out of the driveway, so the traveling abilities right now, that's my fault. But whatever. I would rather drive. I think there's a whole experience. Now, sometimes, yes, the idea if I'm going cross country driving with a toddler, no, I don't want to do that. That does not sound like a good time for me.
Yeah.
But the idea of having the car and not to say that things can't happen, they can. You have a little more control, you have a little more options at least. But the idea and the convenience of traveling has almost turned into an inconvenience at times, and it's becoming more frequent, quite frankly, because the airlines are getting cheaper as the way they treat us. So this COVID and the thing that happened with South, this should be a wake-up call, and they should stop being greedy corporations. Put some money into your systems, put some money into your staff, reevaluate what's going on instead of just we are not pieces of luggage that you can cram into a broken down, busted plane and take us from point A to B.
Yeah, the pleasurable experience aspect of travel, I think, is just kind of gone away. It's like something you have to do.
That's right.
That's why, in the car, I can listen to whatever music I want to listen to. And if I want to put on a pair of headphones, fine. If you want a pair of headphones on an airplane, that's another $5 or $10
That's right.
to do that. Now, I have not gone on a bus in years and years.
Nobody wants a bus. Nobody wants to do that.
But I would think that maybe the bus lines would now start to up their game a little bit and make it a little more pleasurable experience, because it takes away the tedium of driving, but you also get from point A to point B, in some kind of comfort.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't know anybody that does long bus trips. I've seen short bus trips, short buses, but I haven't seen a lot of long bus trips. And I don't know, again, with the cost of fuel and everything and gas, I bet you it's not like it used to be. And also you are still adding on more time. Because the bus can only go so fast and the bus has regulations. At that point in the game, a bus has got to be like a last desperation moment for me. I'm not traveling with Luke on a bus. That ain't happening.
If you're in no hurry, or let's say you're going from here to the West Coast. If you want to see some scenery, then maybe a bus is a way to go, or a train. But when you start to sit down and say, yeah, I think maybe I'd like to take a train trip, man, start looking at the prices of the train. It is almost cheaper to just gas up the car and go. Or in some cases, and you got to really do some digging to rent a vehicle to drive. I've done that. Yeah. There used to be pretty good deals. Now you fly someplace, maybe you save a few bucks on your airline ticket, but man, if you got to rent a car, all of a sudden there aren't enough cars available, and the price of renting vehicles has gone up too.
I've rented a couple times, but we did one. Rented a great one. I loved it. Was it a Sequoia? I don't know. It was a big car. But there was 1, 2, 5 of us, and we rented from here to drive to Chicago, from Texas to Chicago, and then from Chicago to Detroit to Texas. I got to tell you, that was the best thing I ever did. Now, mind you, that was like 7 years ago. Yeah. Best thing I ever did, though. The price was great. It was a phenomenal ride. But they've gone up, again, the fuel charges, the cars. It's right. You really have to plan that where you travel. You really have to think about where you travel. You can't, it's not like, hey, they got some cheap seats, let's throw out here. Vegas used to be a super cheap flight, because it was so much traffic. Mine was cheaper, but not nearly as it was the last time I went to Vegas. Everything, you really got to plan it out.
I don't know if they're still around, but in Florida, there was a company called Rent-A-Wreck, and it was and it was a rental company that used to buy up old used cars, and all and rent them, and it was cheap if you didn't want to drive around in something that had
Right.
luxury appointments. I
Man,
mean,
put
this
me in a lowrider that's rusted out. I'll roll out in that, dude.
that's right.
That's no different than what I do now. I ride around in
Yeah,
a POS every day.
it makes you feel like you're at home because you
Man, I sit here and I start going past like 20 miles. I'm like, I don't know, guys. I feel like I'm on The Last of Us. I'm like, this could be it.
Well, hey, before we take off, I just want to let everybody know that we are brought to you in part by our good friends over at Patriot Sandwich Company. Now, there's a place that's worth traveling to, and I'll go over to Patriot Sandwich Company, pick up a couple of handmade fresh sandwiches beyond belief. Say hello to David Jordan, mention our name, and maybe he'll give you some extra sauce or a free drink, and all. But they're
Or
good
throw
people.
you out. He might throw you out. You never know.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, trash talk. Yeah, out of
Get those guys
here.
out of here, bro. Get them out of here.
But good people over there. So, hey, that'll do it for another show. Not sure what we're talking about next week, but
I
you'll
have
just
no
have to be
idea.
here at 8 o'clock next Tuesday and find out.
That's
Because we'll
right.
be here and hope you will too. All right.
Safe travels.
Take care. Yeah, safe travels. Right.